Are we there yet? Did we do it?
We did it. I did it. It happened. Yes.
It just told me again that my camera's on, so that's a good sign.
That is good. That is what's supposed to happen now. Welcome back, everyone, to this week's podcast, which this week will be brought to you by Expressing Yourself and the only tier list that matters.
This week's podcast is also brought to you by Potato Tacos and Jim Eagle.
God, I'm your host, Madison.
I'm your other host, Jesse James. Welcome to our conversational leftist mukbang, where we're making early mistakes on today's episode.
Usually we make these mistakes after the pod.
Yeah.
But they're being made today. Oh no, I've spoiled the surprise.
That's okay. I'm going to break into this Taco Bell coffee.
No. I have gotten a coffee from Taco Bell one time, and that wasn't a good choice.
Black, just the way I like Taco Bell coffee.
Alright, well, should I?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the business we're up to today. It's some spicy potato soft taco business, because the potatoes are back. Hell yeah.
The potatoes are back, everybody.
Potatoes are back. I also did.
Am I imagining this, or did we somehow, like a couple years ago, end up at a Taco Bell buying Taco Bell fries when they showed up before?
No, you did not imagine that. That did happen.
I thought
that is real. So I have those, but I also made another bad Taco Bell decision.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they do this to the tops? Why are the tops like suction cupped to the... Okay. Please hold while I struggle. All right.
Yep, okay.
So here we have this is not actually the flavor that I ordered, so...
Yeah, perfect. Good. Taco Bell working as intended.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this in here. This is gonna go poorly. I can already tell. Oh, no!
Oh, yeah! I think we had similar ideas. I'm excited to see what you're doing. Don't stain yourself with it. It's not worth it.
Okay, yeah, that's good enough. So we're just gonna do that. And I have this.
Oh, what is that?
A tequila.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Interesting decisions that we've made simultaneously. Let me grab the tequila I bought. Because I, too, have a Baja Blast flavored slushy.
Hell, yes.
I don't know why anybody would go and not do this is the real thing.
Exactly. What if you are ordering anything from Taco Bell and you don't finish off your meal with this? What are you doing?
I want everybody to know that this is this is $15 tequila. So you know it's good. Let's just
I don't remember.
Yeah,
this is Epsilon, so however much that is. Oh, you measured? I didn't do that.
No, I measured to make sure that it was too much. Does this look like a measurement to you?
Of sorts. I don't. I just kind of went for it, so I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet.
I hate blue raspberry. It's the worst flavor.
Were you trying to get the red one?
Yeah, I was trying to get the strawberry lemonade one.
Yeah, see, and I just went with the one that I knew there was no chance they wouldn't do, because I don't... Did you go get yours?
No, I had it delivered.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Oh shit, that's not good because I can't taste the tequila in this at all. And I put a fair amount of tequila in this.
I feel like I put a fair amount, but I can't taste it at all, and I don't want to taste this raspberry business very much, so I'm just gonna do this. There's always.
I feel like I would be being a bad host if I didn't make mine worse in the process then. Oh.
Demonetized!
Yeah. Don't worry. This is parody. These bottles obviously contain water. Who ever heard of clear tequila?
Not me. You should only alcoholize your Taco Bell experience in a video game.
Now I can taste it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, parody in Minecraft. That's the only way that we do that.
It's really not good, but it'll get me through.
Mine tasted like Baja Blast. Now it tastes a little less like Baja Blast. So
okay, well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. So we've got our terrible Baja Blast drinks. We're both sitting in ways that are going to hurt over the course of the time that we're set to do this. I have one of my legs is just completely underneath me, so that's going to be just a problem once we get into this. I can tell this is good because it came wrapped like barely. So
that is kind of the Taco Bell signature move.
Yeah.
Just like throw it lightly into a wax paper and call it good. So these are my favorites. And they're for everyone who's interested on the value menu right now.
I mean, it smells pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, mine are pretty cold at this point, but
mine are a bit cold.
So let's get into this.
All right. Yeah, it's not bad. That's basically just a burrito built around like home fries you would get at a breakfast place that's like caters to tourists.
Yeah. And they're just like a little bit spicy, but not too bad. But very good.
Yeah, this ain't bad at all. I'm actually pretty down with it. Also, even though I got some of these, I think this is maybe the first time I've ever gotten a Taco Bell anything that's all vegan shit, technically.
Was it you who told me what those are?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think it.
My friend / not quite both of our coworker, but missed by a thin margin, used to work at Taco Bell. Happy birthday to her, by the way. And she made these by dumping noodles into a fryer. And then they become dessert.
Spicy cinnamon dessert. Yeah. I have a friend who's vegan, and these are also one of his staples. His staple orders as well. He also gets the Crunchwrap Supremes and just has them substitute the potatoes for the meat.
That would probably actually be a better thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, most things from Taco Bell would probably be better if they'll put the potatoes in it instead. Because their potatoes are just potatoes and their meat is,
Question mark?
I would love to tell you that the only mistakes I made are all of these things that I'm eating from Taco Bell. But I also have this, which this is the dark blend. I already had the vanilla. And I think I posted something describing this as tasting like Coca-Cola that somebody had stirred with a rusty screwdriver.
Nice.
Let me just crack into this. Refreshing.
Ah, yes.
The problem is... yeah, that's about the same. The problem is, by looking at this, your brain goes like, that's probably like Coca-Cola with like a hint of coffee, or coffee with like carbonation and like some flavoring or whatever. But it's very definitely both. Like, it's a coffee energy drink that's poured into Coca-Cola, just straight up. Like, that's the flavor.
Sounds like something that shouldn't exist.
Oh, and it's zero sugar, so it's like got that too. Oh man.
Well, I've also made additional mistakes.
Great.
Although I don't think this is a mistake.
No, that looks like a good option. Tell me a little more about that, because that's intriguing.
So these are another exciting bag of Lay's that I got from the Asian market, but these are cucumber flavored.
Are they salted still?
I am not sure. No idea, but we're gonna find out here shortly. Ah! Why are these bags indestructible?
You're on camera. You're on camera. You got to make this work.
Why is this happening to me? It's too...
Now presenting...
Never fear, I have my tiny scissors.
Now presenting the human condition with Madison.
My nails are too long to open this. Okay, we've done it. Jesus Christ. Happy birthday to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait.
Oh, good start.
Why it's... I don't like what what I'm smelling.
That's not what I expected.
So the initial smell is almost like fishy, but when you really smell, it's like, okay, cucumber, but okay.
What did they do to it? You look very displeased by this chip.
They're sweet. They're very sweet.
Oh.
They're like sugar blasted.
That's weird. That's not a cucumber.
See, I would have understand if they did like a cucumber, like in Japan they do a cucumber vinegar salad that's really good.
Yeah, I've had that stuff. It is really good.
And I was kind of expecting a cucumber with vinegar flavor, but they just really went full send on the accentuating the sweetness of the cucumber, and it's just very, it feels wrong in my mouth. So,
well,
I don't know if I can what's the word?
Recommend.
I was gonna say endorse. I don't know if I can endorse this, but if you like sweet things and cucumber, maybe you like it.
No, I'm good. I'll bake some cookies with cucumber in them and try that first, and then see if I want to graduate to a chip.
I mean, I could see that a little bit, maybe. Lime cucumber cookies.
Huh. I actually just received a text about the Snyder Cut. It says, it's funny how I came out of watching the Snyder Cut having been entertained, and yet listening to Jesse's criticism, I reminded of all the dumb shit that my SO and I laughed about while actually watching it. That's how much I cared about remembering it, I guess. Yeah, all right. I'll take that.
It's good to know that your analysis was pretty good.
So, side note on the Snyder Cut, which I will... The second half doesn't have nearly as much meat, which is a shame, but I'll be going over that later. But And you've also set up a time to watch it this weekend. So next week we'll be discussing it, at least somewhat again. Depends on how angry you are about it, honestly, because I think that's going to be the catalyst for where that conversation goes.
Right.
I had two more friends who, if you want to see them, they've appeared on Natalie's Shady Fiction Warehouse, and you can find that on our page. But they watched it, and then they called me up, and we talked about it for about 5 hours. So that was also last weekend.
When it takes almost the length of the movie to discuss how much, or I don't know, how bad it was, it's probably not a great sign. But I'm really looking forward to this, despite not having seen the original. So maybe I'll make some time to see that version too, so I can compare.
Let me know if you do that, because I'll do it too. But yeah, I don't know. All I can hope is that whoever else you watch it with, because I assume you'll watch the whole thing at once.
Yeah.
Likes pain, because that's a tough good. That's a tough ask usually.
The person that I am going to be watching this with is also very, very deep into like the Avengers series and all of that stuff. So they're
deep and critical, or deep and knowledgeable?
I think both.
Okay, both is what you want.
Although I haven't seen this movie, so I don't know exactly how this speaks to their taste, but they've told me multiple times that their favorite movie, or their favorite recent superhero movie, is Aquaman.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's fine. Aquaman's not a good movie either, but I would also probably say that's like one of the more enjoyable watching movies that has come out. The Aquaman content in the Snyder Cut is even cutting out the "yeah," which they don't have anymore. It's still just wow.
All right, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too. And as another podcast note, I will be watching King Kong versus Godzilla tomorrow. So expect me to have opinions on that. I'm a kaiju fan, but I don't watch it constantly, and I'm a little worried because I got addressed by a group of people who, not that they're less critical, maybe they're just less critical, but maybe they're more into having a good time in addition to criticism, where I often have a good time because I'm trying to figure out all the ways that I can even describe what I'm looking at to people, especially with something like the Snyder Cut. The King Kong versus Godzilla movie is the third movie in a bad Godzilla series. And as far as I'm aware, because the only movie I haven't seen leading up to this would be the Skull Island movie with King Kong. But the other 3 movies that lead up to this movie I've seen, and they're all bad. None of them are good movies. So I'm a little reticent about how excited other people seem to be, maybe without being prepped for it being a bad movie. But that big gorilla has an axe, so we'll see how it goes.
Very dumb. Very exciting though.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is we have a lot of content.
Also, as far as
your way with a big C.
Yeah, a giant C on that content.
A giant C with an X.
They're both the dark side of the mirror. You making somebody else watch Justice League. Somebody else is making me in the coming weeks watch John Carter of Mars with them. So that'll just be great. I'm really excited for that.
What a cycle of suffering.
Speaking of cycle of suffering, how's your week going? How's the news?
Oh boy, it sure has been a week of news. Let's see. I don't know what's worth talking about.
Well, I will say, as I was trying to fuck with my computer before this, I was looking up stuff on, well, the thing that I looked up that I will talk about is actually something I can kind of touch on. But the thing I've looked up for the last few days is that Matt Gaetz shit.
Oh yeah.
That every time I try to look that up, it is a new thing that is like, oh, gross, but also like this isn't even what they were talking about in the last article.
Yeah.
Like you can look up who Matt Gaetz is if you're not familiar, but the initial thing for me was like over the course of the pandemic, I was lightly keeping up with him because he was doing a bunch of really terrible shit. Constantly. Like he basically is a politician who hates people. Like that's an easy place to put him. But he hates people who look less like him a lot more than the rest of the people. He just hates everybody though.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I was always interested in is that he has like a adopted son named Nestor who he has been photoed with for like a decade. And the first photos of him and Nestor are Nestor as like a young boy, youngish, like teenage boy, I guess, and Matt Gaetz standing with him as though they're at an event, saying that he essentially writing out these things about like, oh, I met this young man, he was doing a great job with some stuff, setting up this weird thing where it sounds like they don't know each other, and there's a bunch of things that are like that, but he had already adopted him at that point. Also, not adopted, he's not his son, but he brought him over from, I forget, I think it's a Latin American country. Uh, like he lives with them and all that stuff long term, and that was a weird like thing for a while where it was, why does he keep acting like he doesn't know this person, and then years later he's like, oh, also this was actually like a guy I sort of adopted, and then like it's a very weird thing. I suggest people look at it because I think a lot of people have forgotten that ever existed if they saw it at all. And it continues to be weird, but in the new Matt Gaetz shit, it's like I don't even know what to think, because with the like showing people like nudes and porn of people that he claims to have like dated or like slept with while in office, just at the office, and then like also trafficking like an underage girl and all this weird shit. Like I honestly have no idea. It seems like everything he does is illegal, and I don't know what. I don't have any idea. There's too much shit to actually read about anything yet. So
Yeah, one of the main things I had read about this that I thought was kind of funny is that his family's initial response to all these allegations were like, "We're being extorted,"
yeah,
which kind of implies that it's true.
right. Like
So
if the
they're like,
information's already out there, it's kind of because it's true if you're being
yeah.
extorted.
So it's like, I don't know that that's the one you want to go with, but
No.
all right. But yeah, also, people should look up what he looks like because
God, he looks like business Frankenstein.
yeah, he does. Um,
But I guess people are used to politicians looking like like that.
yeah, I think I'm stealing this line from someone, and I can't remember if it was about Matt Gaetz or someone else, but he looks like someone who carries around roofies just in case all the time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is a very accurate description. He looks like the side character that would be with the villain in a movie that's about frats or something.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look like he would be the main person in anything.
Yeah.
Life is hard when you're Matt Gaetz. You're not even the main character of your own story.
Yeah, sorry, Matt Gaetz. It sounds really rough over there. Wow, people are talking a lot about the Snyder Cut, and I have to move my phone to another part of the table.
It's too much.
I literally looked down and saw people saying, well, we could watch them back to back, but I don't know how long that would take, and I can't look at that message.
How long would that be? That would be like 8
6
solid
hours.
Oh my geez.
It would be like 6 hours and 10 minutes or something.
That might be too much.
That's how long it took me to watch just the Snyder Cut. But that's because I kept rewinding and taking notes and shit. I got 2 potato tacos. Do you think that one of them will reheat later? Okay.
I usually get 2 and end up reheating one.
Nice.
And as long as you kind of take out the lettuce, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. You always
unless you like microwave lettuce.
Unless you nasty.
Unless you're wrong and disgusting.
Yeah, microwave lettuce is, especially that shredded lettuce they put in that stuff.
Bad.
Oh god. I also subbed out one of them with spicy ranch to see.
I was going to do that, but I didn't.
It's a little disturbing how in agreement we are on this Taco Bell shit. We have bad opinions. We shouldn't share them with people.
It is a bit troubling to find such a kindred soul when it comes to these horrible decisions.
Yeah, honestly, I'm usually looking for people to even out the bad decisions I make, so it's a little disturbing. But I can still rest comfortable with this Taco Bell coffee.
Nice. I have a old mug of tea that I'll use.
That'll work. I have some just like shit that's been happening in my life that's weird. But do you have anything you would like to talk about at the top of things here, other than our various mistakes?
At the top of things. How? Do you mean in terms of like importance? Is there anything important I should get out of the way? Because I don't have anything important to talk about.
No, we don't have anything important today. I just meant like things you want to start off with.
Oh, well.
Do you still want to talk about the Magic School Bus revisions? Because I feel like that was...
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I think... So some weird shit happened after the last podcast. So I'm going to start there once. But this was actually the first thing post-podcast.
The first thing we talked about was Mrs. Frizzle.
Yeah, I had not seen the redesigned stuff.
Okay, well, I'm going to text it to you.
Mm-hmm. Get this back. Oh, I just got a message. How was your order from Taco Bell? Very good, thank you.
Not at all a mistake. Okay, well, while I'm looking this up, I'll give everyone a little bit of background. I guess they've rebooted Mrs. Frizzle, or Magic School Bus, name of the show, and they have done a really, really sad redesign of the characters that's just made them, honestly, a lot more bland and straight looking.
Yeah, that seems right.
Especially when it comes to Mrs. Frizzle. So here is, for your reference, I am texting you the original.
Okay. Yeah, side by side. That's a good option.
Yes. And I really like the character design of the original. She has a lot of... I mean, everyone knows what Mrs. Frizzle looks like. She's very, like, iconic looking, curly hair.
Yeah.
Red hair. even the nose that they did on her is just a little bit different.
I'll be honest, now that I'm looking at this, I'm remembering watching this as a little kid and liking the fact that Miss Frizzle and I have the same, like bump to point nose, because that doesn't show up in cartoons very often.
Yeah, exactly. It's just different. And this is... Oh, even the lizard, they did worse. So enjoy this.
Oh, yeah. That sucks. That's a garbage Frizzle.
Garbage Frizzle. That Mrs. Frizzle would call the cops on you for taking your dog for a walk in the park if you were black.
Yeah. Welcome to my new website, Side by Side These Frizzles. There we go. So, yeah, that bottom Miss Frizzle might as well just be a Disney princess now.
She looks Mrs. like Frizzle definitely has an NRA membership for sure.
She looks like if Gun Girl and the Little Mermaid were the same person.
Oh, I hate that.
Look at her face, though. It's
I
the
know.
Same
I see face.
It. And the lizard is just. What if we made the lizard more boring?
What if the lizard was like kind of like a frog, but not?
Yeah, that sucks. Also, it looks like they're 3D animating the bus. Like they're doing like flat plane 3D for the interior. And that probably means it's a budget thing anyway, so I wouldn't expect too much from the rest of it. Have they?
Yeah, don't get your hopes up for the reboot of Magic School Bus, everyone.
Are they going to go look at Arnold's Dookie or not? Have they shown any of the kids? Because I'm actually pretty curious about that.
Oh, yeah. So...
Okay. Because they put a lot of personality into, like, the cast in the original stuff.
Yeah, here's a side-by-side of the cast in the original. It's kind of a bad picture. I should have saved the first ones that I found.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that people were noticing in particular is that how the black kids suddenly got a lot less black for some reason.
They sure did.
I don't think in that picture. I don't think there even is there are any.
I mean, I guess
ethnically ambiguous girl in the front.
The girl in the front could be anybody. But they definitely have a lot of people that have matching skin tone to Miss Frizzle now. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. Well, I do know about this. I'm not interested in this.
Yeah, kind of a bummer because that show always just had a really good, interesting character designs and fun animation style, I guess. And now it's just,
Yeah, it looks like a real shrug of a show, but that's okay. We don't have to give kids anything good anymore. They're not gonna have a good planet. They may as well not have a good Magic School Bus.
Why would they even watch Magic School Bus when they have content the likes of which would be what, Jake, the Pauls? The Pauls. You have the Pauls now.
Shit.
Do kids actually like the Pauls?
I think some bad kids do.
The worst kids like the Pauls. The thought that I could have a child and that child could like a Jake Paul makes me not want to have
kids. It's pretty terrifying. I actively think about that, like, on like a bi-weekly basis. Like twice a month I'll just be like, so if there was a kid that I had like control over, what would they be doing with their time? And like, honestly, it's completely reversed from when I remember my parents doing that stuff, which is like, I would probably want them to play video games as opposed to watch TV, like in terms of media.
Yeah.
I would definitely want them to read books, but like, I remember being a kid and having a lot of like magazines given to me, and I don't know if I'd even do that currently. Like, I feel like magazines are kind of going the same way that news and some other media has, where it's like kind of garbaging itself up even more lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The case for not having kids on the internet gets stronger every day.
It does.
It
does.
I I received a group text of one of my friends, photographer friends, who does magic card business with the popular company in this area. On their lunch breaks, they look at bad internet. And they sent a thing that was a guy explaining all the reasons, like from an incel forum, all the reasons why he deserves a girlfriend. And there's one thing on there, like, it's all the same incel garbage that people should not have to know exists. That before the internet, you just wouldn't know that exists. On the list, though, because it's just a bullet-pointed list, I'm actually kind of upset because he uses the kind of list I use for the podcast, the arrow list, which really it's not a thing. Plenty of people do that, but I hate it. One of the things that he notes is that his penis is 7 by 5 inches / 18 by 13 centimeters, and one of the other people, one of the other people in this group chat was noting a comment on that said, like, fuck, what was it? So, come sit on my 35 square inch penis. Which is, it also brought to mind, like, somebody was trying to determine mathematically what that meant in liters.
No.
Good, great. Let's start having people online measure their penis in liters. Anyway,
I can't ever. Not that I was going to, but I'm not having kids. No.
Yeah, I'm kind of there.
No, they run the risk of seeing people measuring their penis in liters. No, that can't happen.
Hey, what's up, new kid? How many square inches is your dick?
No. I'm curious to hear the rest of that list, actually, kind of.
Oh, look, it's not a good list. I might just send it to you, because there's other aspects of this thing that are very bad, including for, I'm going to say, well, the comment that I was sent in this this post, responding to them, is also equally bad in its own way, but yeah, I'll just send it to you, let you make your own decisions. Here's my Miss Frizzle to share.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is probably about what the Magic School Bus will look like in 20 more years anyway.
Why I deserve a GF. Number 1, I'm white.
Yeah, number 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a favorable personality. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
That is a thing that people with favorable personalities often have to remind people of.
My friends like my personality. Yeah, it's hard to know what to read off that list once you see it.
I like the confidence in I'm white, I'm young, I have a strong sense of honor, and then it goes straight to I have been told that I'm handsome.
Yeah, that's what people with confidence say.
I'm a strong swimmer.
Yeah, honestly, that's the MVP of that list for me.
Actually, that is something I can get down with because I have deep-seated fears about drowning. So
yeah.
that's a pro.
The I'm not looking at the list anymore, but there was something on there. Oh, he mentions coveting his wife, which I just thought was very telling of like the mindset that dude's in.
Says coverture for what is cover?
Okay.
Like protection?
Yeah. Oh, he's very into the idea that he and his not to be no whatever this neckbeard that is writing this list believes in his neckbeard enough to know that it will protect a woman.
A woman. Nice.
Yeah.
I've been told I'm handsome.
Odd. Speaking of being told you're handsome, not really. People who watch this might already know that I do some like self-photography style stuff for various reasons, having to do with like my own self-image, stuff like that. Being very fat at a point in my life, I realized was something that never went away in my mindset. So in part of my like trying to be a more full person, I've been getting used to what I look like and not dwelling on like basically the worst version of myself. Anyway, that's taken another step this week. I'm now having another artist that is doing some, let's call it vaguely sensual illustration of me. So I think they're working on that currently. So I should have something to share in like a week or two.
Oh, nice.
Unless they do what artists do, and then it'll be like a month or two, but we'll see.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'll probably post that around if people want to see it once it's done. I believe it will be featuring the fuzzy, meant for a very short woman's robe that I wear as a jacket. So that'll be nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely is something to look forward to.
So that'll be fun. There's a lot of like, let's call it sexually charged news, especially if you include the Matt Gaetz shit from earlier. So this is just a side thing, but I have somehow completely destroyed my Spotify account by doing things like sending the music that I sent you, going through nights of looking for all of the Down with the Sickness covers I can find.
Oh no, that ruined it for you.
Okay, so straight up, so at work I enjoy putting on a random list, like something they'll just do the like recommended for use, and I can't do it anymore. I can only play playlists because what I just discovered in the last week or so on the random list is it has started including albums of sex noises. And it's not music, it is taped fucking. And that's it. Like I was working on some sketches earlier this week, and it flipped over, and I do listen to music that has like audio clips from porn in it occasionally, just because of the weird shit that I listen to. But I didn't think it would turn into this. And so it started, and it was like 30 seconds in, and it was like, is this like a long preamble or like something like that? Like, I need to check and see what the fuck this is. And then they started talking in it, and he was like, yeah, that's tight. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I looked, and it was volume 6 of a collection of like recorded sex, and the track was just called like Sylvia or something, and all the track names were like just names of women. So that's the state of my Spotify account.
I can see why that's not usable at work anymore.
God damn it. Well, I can use it with headphones, I guess, but like it's still gonna throw a wrench into like.
What if someone walks by and just like hears your headphones?
God damn it.
I can picture that happening. That is very interesting. I did not know that Spotify would have that. Is it actually like? Is it like scripted stuff? Or just like noises?
Based on how bad their sex talk was, I'm gonna say no, because it was like if you out there are a talker, you know kind of like the amount of dumb shit that people can say, and it sounded a little too authentically stupid for like what it would be fake. Let me see. I think I got a shot. Yeah. I switched over to last podcast on the left when that came up, but here, I'll go ahead and send you this. This has the... Oh, yeah, that's right. It's called Explosive Sex Sounds, Volume 6, that track was from.
That is aggressive.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw on that the recommends that it was giving, and there's like not a shortage of sex sounds and like sex-related audio on Spotify. So if that's your deal, you can go find it.
I like that you're being recommended the 1975 after that. They're like, if you like sex sounds, you'd probably be into this shit. Yeah,
well,
okay.
I was listening to the 1975 for stuff, like it's good art music, but then I wasn't expecting it to fucking jump into fuck noises.
Why not? That does seem like something they would account for, and maybe not just like autoplay.
You would think so.
I don't. Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah. So
today I learned.
Keep on your toes out there. If you're listening to some weird shit, maybe it'll get weirder without you wanting it to.
Yeah.
I feel like it did some weird computer math, and it was like, oh, you're listening to The Faint and what is it, Cigarettes After Sex or something.
Oh.
If you hear both of those songs in the same 24 hours, we're just going to start putting sex music in here, because obviously that's what you're looking for, right?
You dirty pervert. We're just going to serve you.
Dirty fucking pervert.
We're just going to serve you some sex sounds. How about that? Some explosive sex sounds.
I looked at the other albums by that artist, and they do have albums, it looks like, that have like more specific things. I want to say there was one that was like in French or something. So like, I guess
that is very specific.
If that's what you're looking for, it looks like there's stuff out there, and it wasn't the only artist with stuff like that. So,
yeah,
you know,
that wouldn't really surprise me, because there seems like audio stuff like that is becoming a lot more popular. Like, people are realizing, hey, this stuff is actually cool. But
yeah,
that's cool.
I want to say OnlyFans has an audio thing now. I don't know enough about it, but I think that you can like send and request the same way you would with like video and picture and shit like that. I think you can now like do audio tracks and have that be a thing.
So is this the moment where we announce our OnlyFans and our ASMR track?
I was just gonna say, I think that's where I'm gonna start posting the podcast next.
I think we should. I think this should be on OnlyFans.
3 hours of fucking hot action. You come here, you know what you're gonna get. At least an hour and a half of Snyder's Justice League.
Explosive Bible Man discussion sounds.
Oh, you remember when Bible Man pulled that Bible out of the mud and then like lightning turned him into a Power Ranger? Well, we're going to explain it to you, and you're going to be hard as the Dickens and wet as a crick.
Oh, wow.
I've had too much tequila already, so this is going to be a great podcast. Anyway, so I guess this is vaguely a topic. So
I have to readjust. My lighting keeps getting darker when I am back farther for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Lighting is never consistently good because we don't have studios, and it's just never going to be good. But we can.
I've rented the studio. It's very professional setup.
That's true. I like that they provide you with a salt rock. That is a nice atmospheric studio thing.
It's really cleansing my chakras.
My studio let me move my trash into it, and they really enjoyed that. Even this haunted cat, which probably can't be seen on stream, but I do appreciate that they let me burger the studio with that as well. Anyway, there's a new PragerU video, which of course there is, but they decided to get ahead of Trans Day, which was yesterday, as of our recording. It's 2 days ago when you're seeing this, but they made a video featuring Abigail Schreier, who is a real piece of shit that I didn't know much about.
Sounds really familiar.
Yeah, so she wrote the transgender craze, and it has a subtitle that's like more inflammatory than that. But basically, they gave her a 6-minute long video in which she just talks about how transness is, to kind of break down the basics of what she's saying, which is all incorrect. She's claiming that transness is basically a plague that's sweeping through people because children are allowed on the internet. I know that I was saying I wouldn't really love children being on the internet a few minutes ago, but it's not because of that. And she's claiming that, and she's a at least somewhat respected psychology person. So it's even worse because it's like a lot of the PragerU fucks that are just like, hey, this video features Jordan Peterson, crazy man who eats only meat because his daughter is trying to kill him. Like shit like that. But like in this one, it's this fucking Abigail lady talking about how kids are confused. They don't really know what they want. And you know what's actually causing transness is other kids. And I think it has like a little animation or like a little shot of like a kid whispering into another kid's ear. Like they're telling them, hey, maybe you're trans. Maybe you have some problems and you can fix it if you just change genders. Like that's what it's implying.
Okay, yeah.
And she basically, the crux of her evidence that transness is not real in people as much as it is a fad, which, I mean, the title of her book is The Transgender Craze. Like, that's very clearly her focus. Mm-hmm. But her evidence for it is a thing that I've heard a bunch of times from anti-trans people and TERFs and shit like that. And it's that if you put yourself into a minority group, then all of a sudden you're special, and all it takes is flipping genders. So like, why wouldn't you do it if you feel like depressed or like you're being like given extra anxiety by the world? And the real answer to that is all of the answer to that is none of it takes away anxiety. Nobody is deciding to be trans for a quick fix and for people to love them.
Being trans, a famously fun and relaxing pastime for people. Yeah.
It's hot shit. And that's basically her entire thing, is just saying transness is actually just a meme that people are spreading to each other, and also it's to get sympathy and so that you're important again. And then I believe it was that, not some other horrible video that popped up later that night, but talking about just how, like, if you give trans people trans rights... Oh, no, I think this was a tweet that she had when I was looking her stuff up. if you give trans people trans rights, then they're being given more rights than other people, which is like she has all of the worst arguments that you hear everywhere else, but people respect her enough to listen, and they're all just mashed into the same thing. So
it's like the same brain as the we can't let gay people marry each other because then marriage is less fun for us argument.
Nice. God didn't like it, and marriage is for God, but also marriage isn't a church thing. Like the whole fucking marriage is how the state decides what your status is, but also the church is like, oh, no, we don't own marriage, but gays can't do it. Like, yeah, it's all garbage. Like, that's what happens when you live in a theocracy that doesn't want to admit it, is you get all this garbage where scientists tell you about how the things that Christians don't like are actually bad and not science anymore. So
yeah, that's actually just morality generally. That's our whole moral code, is just this thing that they decided.
I've been feeling a little depressed lately, so I was just thinking, like, maybe I'd go get my penis chopped off and people like be sad for me, and then my life will be better.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go do that right now. That seems to be
quick fix.
Quick, easy.
Financially, very easy to do.
Yeah, they make a claim that gender clinics are popping up all over the country, and that's like the Satanists moving in. So, you know, now we got to watch out for little Nos grinding up on the devil, because it's going to send us all down a stripper pole into hell. I don't know.
I like to believe that once old people start dying more, that the world will just be better, but then stuff like that gets people actually angry, and I'm like, oh no, it's just going to be shitty forever because people are stupid.
Yeah. That's why people need to keep being critical of that shit, because really it's the part where people just go like, I guess this is where we live now, that like that's when that fight is over. And as long as we don't do that shit, we're always moving in the right direction. It's just big, loud, rich people are like, no, not now. And then you got to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've also been playing Loop Hero.
Ooh.
And I wanted to mention that you also own Loop Hero now. Surprise.
I did see that.
Yeah. It was one of those games where it's like, how would I describe this to like sell people on it? And I was like, I can't sell anybody on this game. I'm going to have to give it to somebody to talk to it about. So that's what I did. And, you know, someday if you try it, we should talk about what it is, because it's weird. But that game, also I got a Phasmophobia. So I'm excited to try that out. Now that fad is over, I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah.
I also found, and I'll send you a picture of this. This is a big secret pictures podcast. I was checking. I got some like weird information from Nintendo about like 3DS stuff. So this morning I was like, all right, let me check. I'm gonna go check the 3DS store now that it's closed. And I found like some weird shit because it didn't close entirely for a while. But I also found something incredibly weird that's in their new releases from like a year and a half ago. So I sent you a picture of that. Anyway, so Loop Hero, I was going to talk about it last week and I didn't get to it because of the Snydering. Loop Hero... Yeah, I got snidered real hard. Loop Hero is a game where the entire world ends, and it looks real cool doing it. And then everything is just like a black void, except for your character and like a campsite. And it's just on like you know, the build your own racetrack, like the track car things, or like Thomas the Tank Engine play sets where it's like the wooden tracks. that's what the game is on like a beginning level. It puts your campsite out with a little tiny like character like representer. It's like a little stick man almost, but like looks more like a C64 stick man for anybody who knows what that means. And it draws out like tiles of the path that goes from your campsite in a shape back to the campsite. And the basic part of the game is that every time you start a new run, kind of like if you were starting a new game of Don't Starve, it just randomizes that, and it's a new path. And that's the whole level. It is a screen with a path in the middle of it. And the character just starts walking around the path and walks forever. And that's the mechanical setup. So what ends up happening is, and I would suggest for people who do play this to set the option at the beginning that lets you pause between beating a battle and pause when you hit the campsite. And the reasons for that are when you hit the campsite is the only time that you can go to your like homestead or whatever and keep everything that you've gotten. Otherwise, you keep like a third of it, I want to say. And then the reason to pause after battles is because once you've met with like a bad guy, and those will show up on, and they're not all bad guys, but once you have met with something, an encounter, you will see them on the track and you'll walk into them and you'll like have a little encounter window. You could have another encounter in the next tile. So if you have it pause afterwards automatically, then you can like move stuff around while you're waiting. And that just means like you hit either the on-screen pause button or your space bar and it'll keep going. But essentially you are getting dealt like little like icons in the corner when you beat things. And you start off, it's just a track and there's little slimes on it. And you meet up with a slime and you fight it. And then you go to the next one. And you don't like, if you're just the base character, you don't have anything on, you don't like regenerate health, nothing is like automatic. But as you start beating things, you start gaining resources and armor and all that kind of stuff. And there's like a little corner that has like your armor and all that. But as you go, you start getting these tiles that show up and it'll be like a vampire's manor, I think it is, or you'll get like mountains and plains and shit like that. And you start building a map out of that stuff onto the screen that you're looking at. And what you build that map into starts determining what happens to the track you're on. So you're basically, you're walking, the character is walking around this little path, and you're just looking at the path and assessing everything to make it as interesting as possible without killing the character, because you could put like a bunch of shit right next to the street and all of a sudden like you can't get through it anymore. And the other half of this game, like you do loops and things get tougher and tougher, and then a boss shows up, and I haven't beaten a boss yet. But between runs, which you can only go back with everything at the campfire, like I said, but you can go back with some stuff, and you have like food, metal, some different like resources that are sort of tied to the storyline, and then like stones and things like that. When you go back, you can start building on another tile set a permanent town that you go to. And that town builds out like different people, and it starts giving you more and more things that can appear on your map and all that kind of stuff. So like right now I can build villages on the map while I'm going around it. And those start turning into like bandits will move in, and like weird like mosquito bogs will just show up places when I put things there. Also, the thing that I find really interesting is they set it up so that different tiles next to each other turn into different stuff. So another big part of the game is just finding out like weird things that affect other things and how you can use that to your advantage. But it's interesting. It's a very chill game, but by the time you're like having to actually like try to manage your like armor and like you're worried about making it through a loop and stuff, by the time you get to that point, it becomes very like active, even though it's not you controlling the character.
Yeah. I like games like that start off really, really simple and then just kind of gradually, slowly get more difficult. But I like the fact that you're kind of in charge of, it seems, in charge of how that goes.
And you meet up with like, whenever you meet up with new monsters or types of things, you have like a little conversation with them. And that's an interesting touch. Like for as simple as the art is from the like top down, when the menus pop up, like the battles and stuff like that, the drawings and stuff are actually really well done. So it's artistically very interesting. But yeah, I would suggest people give that a shot. It's cheap. It's cheap and it's engaging. Like I haven't played any like cheap PC games for a while that keep me like interested that much since like Minecraft and things like that. Sure, but like something that's a straightforward game and not just a like build shit simulator.
Yeah. I've been playing a game. I don't know how much this is. I want to say it's like 20 or 25. But okay. I borrowed it from a friend's library. But I've been playing Rhythm Doctor. Have you heard of this at all?
I think I've heard the name, but what is it?
It's a very, very, simple mechanics game where you basically are just hitting the space bar in time with the sound.
Yeah.
And you're like a doctor who basically revives people based on how well you can do that in time with the music.
If you fuck it up, does it fuck up real bad? Because
yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's like really simple to start, but it sounds like it would be boring. My friends were wanting me to play it for a while, and I was like, that sounds stupid. But I started playing it, and it really sucks you in. It's like one of those things that you're like, this shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah.
But it's the first couple of levels aren't too bad. It's just like keeping in time with the music, and then there's one. I think the first actually difficult level is like a boss level where the screen, the like animations start to glitch, and it's like not in time with the sound anymore.
Okay.
And then there are levels where the sound just like completely cuts out for a few seconds, and you just have to guess.
Oh,
when you're supposed to hit it.
Yeah, I like that kind of shit.
It's really fun. It's really cool, and I've only played it for not very much, but I enjoyed it a lot.
That reminds me of I played it and enjoyed. I didn't play all of it, but I played a chunk of it and enjoyed it, and then I had my roommate play the first like 5 levels of Everhood. I think I might have sent a video of this to you, but I can't remember if it was direct or on some platform. Anyway, it's a game that has 5 tracks where the character can be, and the music is coming at you on those tracks. There's a lot of games like that, but this one is very like pixel art and just weird shit happening, and
yeah,
it's more complicated. There's a jump button, but other than that, it's like very much just a rhythm, like just listen to the music and it's not very hard to avoid stuff. But if you're not, or say you're high, like my roommate was when they played it, it can be really hard to anticipate where the music's coming from.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. The beginning of that introduces that money is called schmuckles, and the people you give it to just eat it. And it's dumb, but I really enjoyed that little bit as well. And then
Rhythm Doctor is pixel art too.
Okay.
And it's really fun.
Another game that I kind of am reminded of by your description is Thumper, which is one of my favorite rhythm games from like the last few years. But that one I can't really describe it. It's more like what you're describing of like you're just trying to stay on beat.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is like the image that you're looking at is what if you were a metal beetle flying towards like Cthulhu. Like that's basically the game. So you're just going straight, and there's a thing in the background that's like accosting you with different things, and you have to like. It's basically like on beat, and then you can kind of bump to the sides, and that's it.
Yeah.
Games like that are often way more satisfying than they have any right to be.
Yeah. That are very simple in mechanics, but very addicting. I got stuck on one level of Rhythm Doctor, and I think I kept replaying it like 10 or, I don't know, 12 times. But you get a grade for each level. I think you can, if you get perfect, it's like an A+ or something. And I kept getting just solid C's for every single level, and I was trying to redo them and get better scores, but it was not working out for me.
I will write down Rhythm Doctor because I need something that's beat based to do when I can't play my horribly aggressive drumming game.
This one can get kind of aggressive too, though.
Yeah, but if it's on a keyboard, that's no big deal. The other option is hitting a drum head, and when I play rhythm games, it's rarely the correct time to be doing it. So I should have an option that's not that. Anyway, I'll look into that though. That sounds like the right kind of thing. Also, I do really like feedback when you fuck up, and a doctor is the perfect kind of feedback for if you fuck up a rhythm.
Yeah, the patient starts like crying.
Yeah.
And it's so hard. Some of the levels are so hard. If you mess up at all, it's so hard to get back into it. Or at least for me, I was having the hardest time. There are some that I was just like, if I messed up at all, it was done.
That's drumming. Once you fuck up, it's hard to pull yourself back into it.
Yeah.
What's the point of view? What are you looking at when you're playing this?
You have so on the screen is like the patient, and it's kind of like a small character, and then they have just a bar that indicates like the timing of the music. And you like on the first couple of levels, I think there's like a little indicator of like when you need to hit the space bar. But I think that disappears after a while, and you have to just kind of feel it out.
Okay.
But it's basically just a bar that like tells you the timing of the music or the pacing.
Okay. It sounds like the way they indicate beat in Crypt of the Necro Dancer, that kind of thing. Okay.
No, I don't know that.
Okay. They have a bar where the beat connects.
Okay.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer is fun, but it
sounds exciting.
It gets real tough.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
Yeah, it's good. If you end up with a Switch, they have a really good Nintendo only like Cadence of Hyrule. It's like a Legend of Zelda game that's all music. But those games, when they say it's all music, you literally have to move, attack, and use anything you do on tempo. And as you move between screens, it changes the song. So you'll go from like a tempo to like all of a sudden. And on that next screen, it might be a giant monster that already is perfect on the tempo, and it's very difficult in spots.
Yeah. That sounds kind of similar to how some of the levels of Rhythm Doctor work.
Okay.
So.
While I'm thinking about it, I am one vaccine in.
Nice! Yay! Round of applause. I got mine scheduled this morning. Yeah, so I'm getting.
How long are you waiting?
It is scheduled for the 8th for my first one. And then the second one will be like towards the end of the month.
Yeah, I get my second one the 18th. So similarly, end of the month, I should be saved. My work is already like, oh, so you can take the bus? And it's like, I do live with somebody who isn't vaccinated, but I'll keep you up to date.
Yeah.
Like, so the bus then?
Yeah. I'm it is going to be very interesting once everyone starts getting vaccinated, because
that's one way to put it.
I feel like I don't fully understand, and people generally don't fully understand what that really means.
And what the risks still are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my understanding is that we shouldn't be taking it any less seriously than it was like spray down everything that comes into your house, because that's still what you're supposed to be doing, essentially. I don't think people think of themselves as vectors for that stuff. I think they think of things as vectors for that stuff. I can wipe off all my groceries, but like a lot of people don't think that matters, and they super don't think it matters if they wipe themselves down. So like that's sort of the territory I'm a little worried about with the people who are vaccinated and people who aren't. Also, like, it's a general work gripe maybe, but like the only people who seem to be resistant to getting vaccinated at my work are the people who could die if they get it. Not that we all couldn't technically, but like, and not the person you'd think. The oldest person got vaccinated.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Let's say the second oldest person is like, I'll never be able to get vaccinated. But like every time people ask them if they've tried, they're like, yeah. And it's just like, oh my God. Like you're trying to get me to like take public transportation into work, and you're like not doing the basic steps to not be dead. Like just do it. Anyway. But the people I have to worry about causing serious harm to, and myself, I guess I'll include, that list is diminishing, so that seems like we're headed in the right direction. But it isn't gone. That list still definitely exists, so people need to fucking smarten up and stay the fuck home and wear a mask, god damn it.
And I really wish the government was doing some sort of PragerU type approach to just making like informational, very easy to digest videos about what you should do after this. Because even here, where like in Boise, where the attitude is generally like pro getting vaccinated, people are mostly getting vaccinated.
You think we're made of money? We're the United States. We can't go making videos.
We can't be out here making very short animations that are not hard to make.
But they made those in Washington, like Washington State. We had like 20-second videos that were like, here's what's going on in Washington. Yeah, don't do this, 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 or this. And like those existed for like 3 months. Now I think there.
That's probably the biggest, one of the many downsides to having dinosaurs run your country is that no one knows how to disseminate information well.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially here, the people are putting up like some billboards that are good, like, oh, get vaccinated. There's an organization here called Crush the Curve, which is really annoying sounding, but whatever.
That's what I call my skate crew.
And that's actually the organization that I got my appointment through. So there's any Idaho watchers / listeners, you can go to crushthecurve.org or something. Vaccinateth208.org, that's also one.
If you need any help remembering that, just imagine me doing a sick dark slide off the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Yeah, imagine that. 6'2" of barreling meat, flipping a skateboard into the air and not landing on it.
Exactly.
I can ollie, so I know I can get it into the air.
That's farther than I've ever gotten. I can like stand on a stationary skateboard and like pivot.
Yeah.
That's as far as I've gotten.
Yeah. Most people are not good at skateboards, us included. That's fine. The last time I was on a skateboard, I was on gravel, and I just like got on it and stood on it for a couple seconds and fell over, and I was like, why am I on gravel? Why am I doing this? Anyway,
yeah, that's a really good question for skateboarding.
I like to thrash. Hey, get your vaccine if you can get it. And one thing I am happy to see people talk about is that you can't just sit and wait to get a vaccination request. Like, there are people who I'm sure will go through at some point and be like, hey, you're at the hospital. Did you get vaccinated yet? But I have not seen any evidence that people are going to call you and be like, come on in. You need to call people. Like, getting on a wait list isn't going to get you a vaccination in any sort of like amount of time. Like, that's just not how it works. So get on wait lists and call people. And
yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I got on a wait list, and it did take probably a little bit longer than if I were a little more proactive about calling people.
Sure.
But we got the appointment secured. So
I know people who are over 50 who are still like, how do I do it? And that's my advice to them more than anything. If you aren't getting it yet, you need to call the places that are like for vaccines, because literally the first thing they will ask you is like, oh, are you in one of these groups? And you are. So call them.
Yeah.
When I called, my appointment was made for 5 days later. And
nice.
I'm not in a troubled group. So like you should call people if you can. I'm also on lists, but you know, those lists are no longer useful. And I was on those lists for like 3 months. So
yeah. So the list worked out for me, but probably not a great way to go if you're looking to get it done.
Mostly just don't count on other people. Put a little bit of effort in and you should
that's just great life advice.
It is, really, yeah. Count on other people a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's most of it.
Sorry, my fellow people who are afraid of being on the phone.
I fucking hate being on the phone.
That's just how it is.
So the day that I called, the place that I needed to call closed at 5. I started looking at my phone at 2:30. And I called at 5 to 5. And they were like, we can't put you on a wait list. We're actually closing in just a minute. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then they were like, wait, I'll set you up with Sunday. So nice. I got into a place that was not where I called. They just had spaces. That wouldn't have happened if I hadn't done that. I would probably be waiting for a while still if I didn't call places. So just like anything else, try a bunch of stuff. Even if you're not good with calling, sign up to like 4 lists. Or do like me and have a really, really anxious phone call. And when they ask you your gender, say J, because that's what I did when I was on the phone. I made some like a phone professional at a hospital laugh because I couldn't remember my own gender when they asked me to give it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just give me a random letter and I'll figure it out.
Could you just put down X or D? Just put down a sad face.
Grande? Yeah, that'll work
Venti?
out. Man, my gender is venti.
What is happening? Oh, someone in my Discord just typed "I love you, Madison" in all caps. And it just popped up real big on my screen. Oh, hey, thanks.
That seems all right.
That's great. Very nice.
All I get in reference to... No, actually, I do get a bunch of stuff that's in reference to me on various chats, but it's not nice like that. It's usually, did you hear what Jesse said on this? Or it's fucking... the other... Did I send you that picture of the fucking jaguar with human hands?
I think you did.
Yeah.
It sounds very familiar to me.
I looked at my texts and there's just a thing and it was a statue of a jaguar with human hands sitting like on a tree like, hey.
Yes.
And my friend had sent it to a group that's like, yo, this is Jesse energy. It's like, cool. The human-handed jaguar.
I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, you agreed with them, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. I got that same response from like 3 other people, so
it's not a bad thing. It's just true.
Yeah, it's fair. Anyway, wait. What was this? Oh, I just have a note that was written very poorly at some point. Man, that's... No, mine doesn't have it.
I was sticking out my tongue for like a minute waiting for you to notice.
Sometimes the tongue is just hanging out. I don't... So I wonder why the Baja Blast isn't doing that to me.
It's just not as blue, I would guess. This is the color of Windex.
Yeah, that... If you were to pour a glass of Windex and a glass of that, you would just have the same color. That's probably not a great plan on their behalf.
No. There's
also,
probably about the same amount of chemicals in.
These drinks are dangerously effective at covering up tequila.
Yeah.
Because I usually drink tequila straight and slow because I need it to like not be pleasant, or I will just like, huh! And that's a bad idea for me. And also, the taste helps me be slow with it, and this just turns it into nothing. Usually, like tequila almost has like a slightly rotten flavor that a lot of alcohols don't have. That like. A lot of alcohol has a burning sensation on the end of it, where tequila has a, like, you can taste, like, that it is a weird plant that's, like, broken down, but the hot part isn't the same as, like, whiskey or something.
I would agree with that. That's interesting. I have never tasted the rotten sort of flavor that you're talking about.
I have a lot of taste and smell opinions, so that could just be a me thing, honestly.
Maybe.
Speaking of taste and smell opinions, did you hear what the fuck Krispy Kreme is doing?
Oh, what are they doing?
Let me go ahead and pull up an article that I had. Well, I moved it to an article that said, oh God. Every time I look at my tabs, it's a nightmare. Here it is. This is from slate.com, and by scrolling to this tab, I just saw like 5 other tabs I was intending on talking about. Anyway, So from Slate, the title of this is Krispy Kreme's free donut promotion has strange provision for anti-vaxxers. So let me just start this off. Krispy Kreme announced this week that it was compounding the joy of getting a COVID vaccine. Show your vaccine card and you can get a free plain glazed donut every day throughout 2021. So there's that. If you like Krispy Kremes
Cool.
and their sloppy, like hot donut snot, you got them.
Which I do. So
I do too. Don't let that description make you think I don't like Krispy Kremes. This objectively rules. Krispy Kreme's plain glazed donut. That's the article. I didn't say that.
Wait,
Krispy Kreme's
but that sounds like something you would say, though, that this objectively rules.
I don't write for Slate. Krispy Kreme's plain glazed donut is truly the best donut. Okay, this is definitely not me. A perfect yeasty sweet treat. Thanks. I don't know if that's the way. This writing is bad. I didn't read this already. The promotion seemed to be a marketing coup for the company, drawing attention from the press and on social media, and who knows, maybe there's a Krispy Kreme superfan somewhere who will change their mind about getting a vaccine. But there's an asterisk to Krispy Kreme's rollout. Here's what its website says under a question. On behalf of those who choose not to get vaccinated. So this next part is just a screenshot from their website of what their website says under a question worded, what if I don't want to be vaccinated? Can I still get this offer? Here's what it says. We understand that choosing to receive the COVID-19 vaccine is a highly personal decision. That's not true. We advise all employees and guests to consult with their healthcare provider regarding whether to obtain a COVID-19 vaccination and which vaccine to receive after reviewing the available information. If you have made the personal decision to not receive the COVID vaccine, please visit us on Mondays, 3/29 through 5/24, to receive a free original glazed donut and a medium brewed coffee to get your week off to a good start. That's the end of their statement on that. So don't go to Krispy Kreme on Mondays. Holy shit. Don't work there. Don't go there. Don't get near a Krispy Kreme on Mondays for the next couple of months. That's so fucking stupid as shit. Are they just going to put their employees in hazmat suits?
That's like the polar opposite of the, you know how some grocery stores are doing like a safe shopping hour for all the olds at the beginning on like some days. That's like that's the anti that. Like, if you want to come get a donut with a side of like possible COVID, just show up.
You want to come in and show all of our Monday employees why they need to try and get a new job? Here you go.
Why it sucks to probably not have any benefits of the Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, I don't trust Krispy Kreme to be giving a lot of benefits, but also
they don't give me that vibe.
Did you catch that they're adding a coffee into it? They're not just giving you a donut. You get a coffee with the donut for free on Monday if you're not vaccinated.
Nice.
Fuck. That's so stupid.
So it's like bonus.
Oh, man, I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm getting free Monday coffee. Like, that's so bad. Anyway.
That from like any sort of PR viewpoint, why would you even address that side of it? That's like rule number 1 of like marketing. Don't even bring it up. You don't even have to say anything about the people who aren't getting it. That was never required. But also, now you've gone and made it dumb.
If somebody asks the question, what if I don't want to be vaccinated? Can I still get this offer? The answer shouldn't be, well, on Monday, we'll treat you extra special. The answer should be, hey, it's an offer for people who get vaccinated.
Yeah, like no one.
That should be the whole answer. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that Like, I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize you drink backwards.
I do. That's how I prefer my Windex, is aerated.
It mixes in the flavor.
Yeah.
Well, none of that's good. I did want to mention Jim Eagle, because that's the dumbest shit ever. I don't even remember the full quote anymore from our cool president. What was the fucking... Oh, that's what it was. It was something about like this makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle. Let me just look it up. It was very stupid.
I'm sorry. I missed that. I missed that.
Oh, this is outside of your information for the week.
I logged off from everything earlier this week because there was a story about the dog biting someone, and I could not deal with the fact that they were talking about the dog biting someone. And that was like the big story of the day, was that the presidential German Shepherd bit someone. I was having a hard time dealing with that.
Okay, let me find...
Ay.
Okay, that's what it was. So the thing is, this wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for his incredibly weird reasoning of like how to speak on this. I'm pretty sure Jim Eagle is the fucking Muppet Eagle. I don't think that's how he meant it, but maybe he did. Anyway, so it was a response to people saying, like, what do you think of the GOP's voting restrictions in Georgia, I think.
Yeah.
And Biden said something about it being despicable, but his response in longer form was, quote, makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle. Which, when I first saw it, is very funny. But anytime that the president says anything, it's just like we elected a fucking 6-foot tall pile of dog bones to be the goddamn president, and now he's out there just talking about like complete nonsense when people ask him questions, and falling up the stairs and all this shit, which like presidents have fallen downstairs before. Like they've done worse, but
my personal favorite thing that I've been seeing lately is in clips of him talking about any sort of new legislation, or I think this was a clip about the infrastructure plan that they're putting out. He starts it off by being like, this is the biggest plan we've ever had in history. We've never done a plan like this. No one on earth has ever seen a plan like this. And I think it's just a disease that all like old white men have, where they're like, this has never happened before. It's, I don't know. Something about being old makes you only know superlatives, I think, and only be able to communicate in superlatives.
You're only able to communicate by telling people how amazing the thing you're doing is. You can't actually like just give them information.
Yeah, and how it's groundbreaking. No one has ever thought of this idea before me in the history of time.
Nobody's ever considered just being a fucking dusty mummy and yelling dog face pony soldier at their constituents.
I mean, man, I wish we could enjoy any of this as hilarious as it is, but it's just sad.
He fucking our shitty president out there pushing people who ask him questions or whatever. I don't fucking know.
God. Dog face pony soldier. That's just...
Every time he says shit like that, like, same with Jim Eagle, same with all of this shit, the articles I see are always like, hey, but do you know the origin of what he's saying? And it's like, who cares? If your grandpa came in and said, like, man, These pretzels are making me thirsty. You'd be like, that's a dumb thing to say. I don't care why you're saying it, Grandpa.
Okay, Grandpa. Yeah, is the correct response. Not like.
Yeah. You don't hand your grandpa a button under a cover that launches nukes after he says that. You go like, oh, that's a weird old joke that you're saying. Thank you. Like, sit down for dinner.
How whimsical, Grandpa. Would you now like to decide on some foreign policy?
I got your weird little foot bubbler thing ready by the couch. Why don't you go sit down and not hurt yourself?
Maybe we'll take the dog out back too, because he keeps biting people.
Yeah. Great. I got the stereotype cop and Nazi dogs, and I'm really making it look like a good decision and not like a calculated appeal when they bite people and don't have like regular fucking handlers or anything. Whatever.
Yeah.
We don't need dogs at the White House. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Stop giving the White House mascots. No one cares.
They don't need them. The mascot is the president. We have the mascot.
He's the mascot.
We don't need a fucking like dog or a cat or whatever. It's not important.
Okay, I'd be kind of into a cat.
Yeah, but like it's a cat.
But I don't want to hear about it.
Exactly. You don't have to see their pets. They can just be their pets. They don't have to have them out on the yard being like, see, I'm human. Like, it's not important.
I would follow the Instagram account of a White House cat, but that's as much as I ever want to hear from it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a BuzzFeed article about it.
I already don't want to see an old man made out of collagen and fucking Viagra dust. I don't need to see his fucking dogs. Like, I'm sure that he takes middling to okay care of them because he's an old man. That's what people do.
He doesn't know that he has those dogs. He's never met the dogs.
Do you see these dogs that they keep having on the yard? It's a good dog.
My favorite. What if the dog just keeps biting people and he has to take it out back and just like shoot the dog? Is behind the White House.
Wait,
we had to put him down.
My dog? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
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 That seems right.
It seems like how that should go.
If tomorrow the news said the president shot their dog in the rear field of the White House or whatever, my level of surprise would be like 10%. Like, it's really just not gonna register that much.
Biden shoots dog, thought it was a rat or something like that.
Yeah, there's a big hairy snake in the yard.
I mean, I would be more into that article than whatever they've been doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I bought colored contacts.
Oh, cool. I'm not super knowledgeable on colored contacts. Is it? So you have just like relatively dark brown eyes. Does that affect your contact usage?
It depends. There are different kinds that you can get. I think the ones that I got are mainly sheer ones. So they will just kind of overlay over the brown. I don't know how they're going to look. I got a lot of different kinds because I found a really dumb Instagram ad deal for it. They're probably of questionable quality, but I don't care.
Just make sure you have eye drops. You should be fine.
Yeah. But like a long time ago, the ones that I got for the Ray cosplay that I did.
Oh, yeah.
Those were just like a solid ring because they were red, I think.
I think they would have to be.
Yeah. So it depends. The more like graphic looking ones, I think, tend to be more solid. But the ones that I got, I think, are more like sheer printed, like little dots.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, that sounds fun. If I were better at eye stuff, I would probably try stuff like that out some, but it would probably just be for me also, because that's like, unless I'm out walking around Seattle again in the near future, that's like the only time I would be running into people with that kind of stuff.
Well, it could be pretty fun to do an experiment with now, because when you're wearing a mask, that's all people see is your eyeballs.
That's true. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I can get some of the like green snake eye looking ones, and then see whoever freaks out at it, they might be the problem.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think I got a bunch of different colors. I got like blue ones and green ones and some like grayish ones.
Okay.
And I think I got some lighter brown ones just to see, and some purple ones, I think.
I honestly, when it comes to like fucking around with eye colors and stuff, I'm very basic. I enjoy all of that shit. Like a lot of turd artists who engage with video games and stuff do. So that sounds like fun. Anime has made me less interested in doing it myself, mostly because the weeb
weebs have ruined it for you.
And not even that. It's not like the people who did it ruined it for me. It's like the media that I'm aware of that does it isn't even doing it for them anymore. Honestly, I think Wonder Egg Priority is one of the only shows that has it and doesn't look at it as like like most anime in the last 5 years that I've seen, the people who have heterochromia in it are either wearing contacts and made fun of for it in the show, or they're like the joke character that's brought in to be like, man, look at this dumb shit. And like, not that I think that like that stuff really matters in terms of like the coolness of something or not, but I think it makes me less interested in like trying out other eye colors and stuff. Also, I have weird eyes as it is, so bringing more attention to them is not always my preferred choice. I used to get accused of wearing contacts when I was younger because my eyes were slightly brighter, and they shift between they're hazel, so they shift a little bit. So on certain days, especially on days that my skin is in danger of burning, my eyes would be brighter and greener, and people would accuse me of wearing contacts, and I got very sensitive about that for a while. So there's plenty of reasons why I'm not a contact person.
Yeah.
But I'm jealous of people who can do it. So
we will see how it turns out, because I don't know if the dark brown is going to work with
I'm
a lot of the stuff. So we'll see. But I've always found dark brown eyes to be incredibly boring. So
I have some friends who have like black eyes, and if nothing else, you can definitely emulate that. But I think that's a good look. Some of my friends from China especially have eyes that are not red in the least, but are like just charcoal, and that's it. And it's intense. Like they look like they are always like ready for business. is pretty dope. I like the extremes though. I like the people who have the like I think it's mostly people in the Middle East who end up with the like so light that it doesn't look correct, and then people in like I think it's China and India tend to be some of the only people who end up with the like completely black looking eyes. Both of those extremes I like, but everything in the middle too many people have it for it to be like that interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of my opinion as well.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. I've been making a lot of just fun fashion purchases, I guess.
I mean, that sounds good.
Yeah, like
You
the
seem pretty
harnesses.
reticent about it. The harnesses were cool.
Yeah.
Are you getting other stuff like that?
The other thing I've been trying to get into is like corsets, and I've ordered a
Okay.
couple, but my package has been like struck down by God and and disappeared into the ether, so I'm waiting for that still, but
I have worn a corset, and that'll fix your posture if that's if that's
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that would be nice.
Depending on the type, you can't really slouch very much. You kind of have to be like strapped.
Yeah, well, the ones that I've gotten are not like they're not like the lace ones. They're just kind of
Okay.
like the strapless kind of. Well, one of them's strapless, the other one's not. That I would assume are just really tight, not really lace up anything. The lace up ones, they freak me out a little bit. Also, after watching Bridgerton, I feel like they're a little bit ruined for me. Like I wanted to get one, but now I'm like, I don't know.
I've seen a lot of depictions of people tightening them so much that their bones break, and it makes me very like, yeah, that exact feeling.
Yeah, it freaks me out a little bit.
It's the anti-leather jacket. It protects nothing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But I've been getting into these more, I would say, I mean, depending on who you are, risque fashion choices. Not really risque, but according to the standards of the people that I am around.
Yeah.
But
well, you're in Idaho, so that's probably slightly different.
Yeah, and it's fun. I'm having fun with it, but I mean, like with sort of related, like my roommate and I have been talking a lot about after the shooting and everything, the one in Atlanta. Yeah. We talked a lot about like sex workers and how women are just naturally sexualized anytime you really do anything at all. And it's gotten me kind of thinking in the direction of like, well, I don't know. Like, I think I've just stopped caring. I think I'm towards the end of you can't fully like not care about what you wear and suspend your caring because that might put you in trouble sometimes, but I am getting just so sick and tired of having to wear certain things or just even keep that in mind whenever I want to wear things and be like, oh, well, if I wear this, then like I'm going to be, I wish that wasn't a thing.
This is going to sound like a very weird correlation to make to my own life, but it sounds like what you're saying is that if you're going to get sexualized, then you may as well wear what you fucking want, which is like...
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
Okay. Which is like...
as much as you safely can is what I've been thinking lately.
You should obey some level of rules when it comes to like not ruining other people's day.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But this is related in only the dumbest way possible. I have certain jackets that don't look the way that I want them to with other things that I wear or hairstyles unless I have the collar up. And I was so anti having my collar up at any time because I thought that was like the signal that I'm a piece of shit for a long time. And there was this weird point like a couple years ago where I finally decided that like I don't care anymore. Like and also like what's the point of not looking like a douchebag if you're not doing any of the stuff you want to do is kind of my thing. I've always been moving in that direction, but I've been very slow, and I'm not like super brave when it comes to that kind of stuff. I think maybe the bravest version of that, which is not to say that your or anybody else's like looks or sexuality or anything is tied at all to this story, but wearing a like a painted like handmade weird pig costume to Seattle to go do weird art party shit made me feel like I was invincible. And it was kind of like, oh, okay, I get it. Like I look absolutely terrible in some ways, and I also am probably like on the cusp of like acceptable in public. And I feel like that's more honest to like who I am. And that's like hanging out with communities that are what you agree with is exactly how that was made possible for me. And also I feel like the bright side of this, even beyond what we're talking about, is that if you start doing the shit that you want when it comes to what you're wearing and how you're presenting yourself, you stop doing any of the other shit that looks like garbage. That may be a me thing, but I definitely had like a short period where, I mean, unrelated mostly, I did own stunner shades at some point, but I was trying to get into hats for a long time because I thought that all of the people who were like cool wore hats. And I realized eventually, like, I don't fucking wear hats. Like, hats are, I have like 2 hats that are good hats. And they're good hats because I like them and I wear them with stuff. And I kind of stopped being like a turd. I guess.
Yeah.
Being a turd or not being a turd seems like a harder decision when you're a woman, or at least perceived as one, or whatever, because it is coming with more inherent danger. So, like, I don't want to pass over that, but I am in support of doing whatever the fuck you want, I guess, is sort of the point of that.
Yes. I'm having a bit of a phase of going through a lot of like realizations that probably should have happened maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but we're doing it now because why not?
I've had a lot of realizations I should have had when I was a little kid, it feels like, in the last like 5 years. So we're all, you know, special.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, we're artists, goddamn it.
Exactly. I'm just looking forward to I don't know. You know what I have noticed lately? Like dressing more like how I want. It's starting to be fun when I notice people, not in like a mean way, but like it's starting to be fun when I notice people who seem uncomfortable about the way that I am or the way that I'm looking, and I not in like a way like, oh, I'm making them uncomfortable, I should do something else, but just people who are like,
yeah.
There's something very, very freeing about that. I just feel like I've got the upper hand somehow.
I totally agree. When I have my fingers fully painted, and if I have any sort of like accessories or anything that I'm doing that's more like what I like to do, it is the best time to sketch in diners and stuff because you can see who the prudes are right away. They're just kind of like, you fucking see that? Like, yeah. It also, not that it's all of the dating that's been teleconference dating post 2019 doesn't really count, but a little bit, I guess. But like online dating, when I was doing a lot of that for a while, that definitely had a like, if I'm gonna go meet a person, I'm going to put on nail polish. I'm going to wear this shirt that is like on the line, and I'm going to like show up with like that was always my tactic and will continue to be forever, is showing up and being like, hey, what's up? Oh, the bus was a little late or whatever. Like making sure they know all of the garbage first, because if people can't handle that shit, then why would you hang out with those people? I guess it's sort of the point.
That is a really good kind of first test to put someone through.
Depending on how the future goes, my hair can act as that as well, because that's probably going to be a problem for a while. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, it's just got brighter. Hello?
Oh, did your computer pick up the slack all of a sudden?
I think so. It just was like, ah. Oh, also, did I send you pictures of my lamp?
I don't think so.
I wonder if this will affect my lighting. I gotta try this. I purchased a very stupid lamp that does colors. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, can't reach this.
Oh shit! Is it one of the like dial adjustment lamps?
It is. It has a remote.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn this off for a minute and see. And it's actually supposed to. It's like an LED one, and you're supposed to be able to tell it certain colors, and it'll do like a combination. Oh.
If at all possible, I would like to see what an orange looks like, but that's only if it works.
So obviously. Right now I have it on red.
Okay.
Make it brighter. Is it getting more red in here?
Yes. If you could aim
Ominous.
Are you able to aim your camera at all?
Like up and down a little bit, probably.
Okay.
But down is gonna be just that
problematic. So, that should be fine then. I was just gonna say the parts of your room that I can see the red in. Well, now I can tell. The parts that you could tell were red were the darkest parts of your room, which aren't in the center. But
so here's an orange.
Okay, now that you've gone through a cycle of other stuff, I can see it.
Yeah. Here's green. Well, teal green.
Mm-hmm.
Blue more.
I like the heavy blue. It looks very weird on the camera.
Yeah, it's fun. And that has some settings for like multicolors. Let's see what that looks like. Hello. Do multicolor, please.
Wait, would it like direct two lights in different directions or something?
No, so it's like it's a minimalist corner lamp from like a Japanese design place or something. So it sits in the corner and the actual lamp part faces the corner. And then it just like reflects off of the. Here, I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, that would probably help, but I think I'm getting the gist of what you're laying down. I use that kind of lighting when I'm photographing stuff, so I don't get terrible glare on my various projects.
Yeah, I'm excited to use it for picture taking things.
Yeah, they're good for that.
Yes.
And if you use the blue one, people won't be able to tell that your tongue is neon. Because, well, no, they can.
It actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha!
Now the rest of the room is the inside of your mouth.
Yeah. Anyway. That's that. Oh, God. Now that's really bright.
Uh-huh.
Go be less bright. How do I slightly better? Okay, I'm sending you the picture now. But that was one of my first big investments in a possible streaming career. I was like, I need a stupid lamp if I'm gonna stream.
Okay.
Kind of adds a nice. I wonder if I put it in actually the opposite corner, if that would probably look better because it would be behind me.
You should give it a shot. We can test it out next week if you want.
Yeah.
That looks really cool just in the image. If you could get that look, maybe even trying it to the sides, so you're at least getting like a bright side and a dim side. That could be good for streaming. I don't know. But that seems like a cool thing to play around with. Considering my colored lighting throughout our podcasting has been almost exclusively a mood light for like anti-depression. I know you can do a lot.
That's what
this
one
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like my little mood light. I don't know that it's been super helpful, but it's very bright.
So the kind of light they use though is the kind of light you need to photo true color. So that's why I have a few things that are like hand-me-downs from people who didn't want them anymore that are basically products for the depressed. And that's one of them that was like, that's actually perfect. I can get my portfolio in order with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I've used it for a lot of picture taking as well. I love depression core products.
Yeah. You just got to get a bunch of plastic cutting boards and you can have colored lighting all the time.
Plastic cutting boards. And what's another good depression product? Oh, weighted blankets.
Weighted blankets?
I don't have one, but I want one really bad.
Yeah, I've never had a weighted blanket, but I have gotten really good at times at constricting blankets and turning them into weighted blankets if the weight was from all angles.
If you have enough blankets, they're weighted blankets.
It's true.
Yeah.
Also, I don't need to go over how I sleep. It's already a nightmare, but that may be changing in the near future, but I'll wait until it happens before I say anything definitive. Anyway,
I'm curious about this. I find it's probably a very creepy question to ask people, but I find that it's so interesting to hear people sleep.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably creeped out by that, but it's fun. It's fun to know. I don't know. It feels like a very interesting insight into.
Well, I know, if nothing else, I know that you sleep like a mountain climber.
Yeah.
My sleep, I don't have a bed that has like a mattress that fits it. So I have a stack of various things. I mean, it's all blankets. It's all sleeping. It's essentially, what if you took a sleeping bag and very neatly placed within it folded blankets, because I have too many blankets, but I don't actually have any way to use them. What if you turned a sleeping bag into a mattress and then covered that with a I think essentially what I use as a mattress pad is and I will say, for people who think this sounds like a bad way to sleep or like somehow unhygienic, the thing that is awesome about it is that when I need to clean my bed, all I have to do is clean blankets like I would any other kind of material.
Yeah,
but
I like that.
Also, if anybody wants a reason for this to be a decent thing, I already know that multiple people can comfortably sleep on it as long as they're okay with being in contact when they're asleep. Which I also know people who are not okay with that, and those people are, not going to be served very well by it. But I have a like a heavy duty outdoor poncho, essentially, like a traditional poncho, not like a rain slicker or something, like a heavy woven cotton poncho, and then a blanket that was made for me by somebody's grandma that is covered in footballs. those two things, when laid over the top of each other, are a secure setting and like a pad kind of thing, and then a like soft upper layer that's kind of like stays stationary. Anyway, I sleep very comfortably, but I do get very self-conscious when I hear people talk about like these horrible. Usually, it's always the context of like, yeah, I dated some goblin. They were awful. I went to their place and they had like a nest of garbage that they slept in, and like I know it's not that. I've actually had people like take naps in my room here and past places who didn't even realize it wasn't a normal bed, but I'm still just like, I can't shake that fear that somebody's going to see it and be like, no, sir.
That is wrong.
The rest of the things you do, I was okay with it. But this...
With the poncho bed? No, that's too far. The poncho bed is a step too far, sir.
It's thicker than most mattresses. But whatever. That's what I always start off with. It's thicker than most mattresses. It's 35 square inches.
I was gonna. How many liters is that?
I want to say it's like a half liter.
Nice.
Nice. Half liter, huh?
Nice.
Nice. God.
Oh god, the internet is so cursed.
Yeah, the internet's never not a problem.
We're not really helping with that, but that's fine.
I just got a text message from somebody completely unrelated to the group that's talking about King Kong versus Godzilla, asking if I'm going to do a King Kong versus Godzilla thing in the podcast. There's some level of hunger for it, I guess.
Gotta give people what they want.
Okay, so I have not seen King Kong versus Godzilla. I'm gonna throw out a couple predictions right now. If you don't want spoilers, potentially, don't listen. I think King Kong and Godzilla appear to be in maybe the worst possible version of this storyline that they could tell, from two species of things that existed in the past that are about to fight each other as the last of their species on each side. I think that's why there's a giant axe, and they kind of they have like some sort of allusion to the idea that there were many King Kongs at a certain point, which I think is held up in the basic storyline idea of King Kong. There's size charts of like young King Kong to adult King Kong and King Kong's parents that you can find out there, and that seems to be sort of that story beat. I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to fight each other because people bring King Kong to an area where Godzilla shows up. As much you can see that in the preview. That isn't a movie. Like, you can't make a movie just about King Kong getting upset about Godzilla and fighting Godzilla. And all Godzilla movies have a flow that requires you to have Godzilla show up and then a drop in the action and then one or two other crescendos in order to make it interesting. I think the climactic crescendo is going to be Mecha Godzilla and maybe a Mecha King Kong that the humans have made to get rid of them, that they're going to have to fight. That is my prediction. And if they hold on to all the storyline shit from before, which is terrible, the scene where there's literally Godzilla standing in the middle of a ring of like so-so monsters, and they like bow to Godzilla at the end of the last movie about Godzilla that America made. If that's the tone they're going with, then this movie is going to be a dog shit. So I'm excited to see them fight mecha things. I think they'll be bad, and I think they won't do lasers good because America is incapable of good lasers. The only thing the U.S. Godzilla's lasers have been that's good is when he... it's like 1 5-second scene in which Godzilla shoots a laser straight down a really poorly decided on monster's throat in the first American Godzilla post Godzilla 2000. And that scene's only interesting because it's very like aggressive America Godzilla, but like they did okay with it. But I don't think they're gonna do a good job with this.
You should create a bingo for this movie, so you can cross it off and see if you get a bingo.
I'll try to do that. I don't know if I can do that in a day without being so cynical that it'll be impossible, because it'd be like Godzilla rides a tricycle. Godzilla does the weird thing where he puts his feet up and slides on his tail towards something. Like No, it's bad. Godzilla is great, but Godzilla's really bad too. I don't know. I will talk about it next week because I will have seen it. Something I gotta finish up the Snyder thing. I'm looking at the notes right now, but before I do that, something that we didn't cover last week because it happened while we were podcasting. It looks like an Elon Musk rocket blew up over Seattle on re-entry and looked absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I saw
that. So if you want to look up some the beginning of a disaster movie footage, literally people with phone cameras looking in the air going like, is that a meteor? And like stuff falling all over the sky and lighting up. It looks like movie footage. And when it was like just having had happened and I was looking at it while uploading podcast stuff, it was definitely a moment of like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this is about the time when that kind of thing would start happening, right?
Yeah.
It's not super surprising. But thanks, Elon.
Yeah, thanks. See you on Mars. Do you have anything you want to talk about before I talk about this stupid ass movie again?
Yes. My other thing for this week, and we don't have to do this on the pod because I realize this might take some time and quiet reflection, but I found something that we both need to fill out. And I'm going to send you a link to it.
If this is fill-outable on the podcast, I don't mind doing it. We can always push off Snydering until you've seen it if you want.
We could, because I have a feeling you're going to have some strong feelings about this.
Okay.
If I can find the freaking...
Is this going to tell me my Enneagram number?
No. I've already made you do that once.
It wasn't super inaccurate, but refer to the early podcast episodes if you want to find out our Enneagrams. I think that was like maybe the 4th podcast. That was early.
Yeah, that was an early one. Okay, here we go.
Oh, this, yes. I remember you mentioning this. Oh, god damn it. This is not what I was expecting.
Would you like to share with the people what you've got there?
So this is a tier listing that is tier... Honestly, I don't know why they have a question mark tier, but they have tiers F through S, and then a personal favorite spot for fast food. If my phone will let me swipe. Okay, I'm going to go... Holy shit, they have a lot of fast food in here. I'm going to quickly run down the fast food options they have for this tier list so that people know what this is.
Yeah.
They've got... what it looks like a Witch, Zaxby's, White Castle, Whataburger. Is that Auntie Anne's? That might... I'm not sure.
Auntie Anne's? You've never... you don't...
No, I can't see the name. I just saw the logo. Wendy's, Taco Bell, Subway, I'm seeing it all in this cropped thing. So for reference, Subway looks like this.
Yeah, how did you even scroll? Because I am having a hard time.
You have to touch the spot that says scroll. It's the top of the bar that's blank is the only place you can scroll. Steak and Shake, Sonic, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, Quiznos, Popeyes, Panera, Panda Express, McDonald's, Long John Silver's, Krispy Kreme. That rocketed towards the bottom today for me. KFC, Jersey Mike's, In-N-Out. It may be not. I might still eat a Krispy Kreme. Hardee's, Five Guys, El Polo. I keep wanting to roll my R's, and I'm never good at it. El Polo Loco, whatever. White guy said it. Wait, what's this Blue Mountains one?
I don't know that one.
I feel weird that I don't recognize a fast food logo, but anyway, Dunkin' Donuts, Dairy Queen, Jimmy John's, Cinnabon, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, Checkers, Burger King, Boston Market. Do those still exist? Oh, here's Here's Auntie Anne, so the other one wasn't. Jack in the Box, Arby's, and A&W. So minus the two that I can't identify their like quarter of a thumbnail of their logo. That is the set of
that's the options we're working with here.
Yeah. So is this meant for us to place into the tier list, send each other and criticize? Because that seems like where this is going.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can do this.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. It gives me the option to change the background color, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. There we go. Much better. All right. I think a lot of the things that I've had most recently are going to be tainting some of my experiences. I've only stopped by a Checkers in the distant past, so that's going to be a tough one. Five Guys is sloppy as shit and makes me feel like garbage when I've eaten it. Hardee's is kind of gross. Have you ever eaten an entire KFC like bucket or like a large amount of KFC?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. How did you feel after you did that?
I felt like I had a large bucket of KFC.
There's a specific feeling when I have a lot of KFC that feels like I've lessened my existence. Like I'm not going to live as long because of the times I've done that.
Yeah.
Long John Silver's I mostly eat when I'm at a ferry terminal. Panera Bread, the only thing I like about Panera Bread is mostly that they have that weird bread bowl that's a glove.
Yeah, I do like that. That's true.
Popeyes, I literally had Popeyes for the first time in like 10 years after I got my first shot for the vaccination. There's a Popeyes next to it. And that's going to rank higher for me than usual because I definitely enjoyed that. But their biscuits are shit garbage. I know that is hard to hear for some people, but their biscuits made my mouth drier, and that's not what I'm looking for.
That's not what you want.
But Popeyes, I think, is going to make it onto my list, if nothing else.
Are we using the personal favorite? I don't know why that exists. That seems like it would just go in S tier, right?
Yeah, but you can. It looks like you can probably pull. Oh, can you only pull each thing onto it once? I guess use it at your own discretion. That can be an honorable mention. How are you going to use the question mark space? Is that
I'm using that for stuff I've never been to before.
Okay. Let's see. Popeyes is pretty good. Yeah. Subway just got itself a trip to the F category because I don't
What's
trust.
in the tuna?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Okay, what's this fucking... Is this like Wexley's Pretzels or whatever? Wetzel's Pretzels? That
Wetzel's
must be what it
pretzels.
is.
Yeah.
I don't have any ill will towards them.
I'm finding my B category is getting a little thick here.
My D category is getting a little thick here. That is
Oh,
not
boy.
supposed to be the way I said that, but whatever. I do not remember Zaxby's.
I've never been there.
Let's see. Yeah, the B and the D are very like appealing categories for stuff. And just so people know, I am using the C column the way that you would in a school, where it is fine.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I will eat a C category thing if people say they're going to eat there. And let's be real, I am fully in tune with my own garbage. So, like, if somebody says, hey, I'm going to go eat at Wendy's, I'll be like, okay.
All right.
Like, that'll happen still. But it's because I live for the pain of it, not because I'm like, Wendy's.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a passing grade. C is a passing grade.
Yeah. So my C category is starting to fill up too.
All right. I think I was using my B category much like a C category.
I think
I'll adjust here.
I think that just means that you're a little more willing to be kind to some of these.
I also just really like fast food, so that's probably part of it too. Let's see.
I'm actually a little surprised at myself with some of these. When I'm actually forced to give them a grade, it's a little bit like... It's a little higher regard for some of these than I was expecting. Let's say that.
Yeah.
One of those things is not Cinnabon.
Oh.
Is that the look of somebody who likes the Cinnabon?
No. Not at all. Let's see.
Chick-fil-A goes right. Kiss my ass.
I'll put that there. I don't think I am finding there are actually a lot of these that I've not been to.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Some of these I'm sad about not having been to.
Yeah. I mean...
What is this? What is the CHW something superior sandwich? Sandwich?
CHW. I'm scrolling to try and find what you're looking at.
Some sort of sandwich shop, but I don't recognize
that. The CHWI. I think that's which. I think that's like a... Honestly, I think that's the bit that I've had that it's basically a Jimmy John's.
Okay. I've never had that, so I can't really speak to that.
I'll be honest, most of the things that are sandwich places like that, I'm giving a D because I don't really like sandwich fast food very much in that way.
Me neither.
Quiznos, you're taking a trip to the bottom. Sonic, I've mostly had in California, and it can kiss my ass. God, Panda Express is a complicated one. This would be a hard list to show. That is a complicated one. My roommate, because he has strong feelings about some bad food.
Oh, no. Do you have any categories with just one restaurant in it?
Yeah, right now I have 0 in the S and 1 in the A. The I have a soft spot for Steak and Shake. I'm gonna adjust a little more. A lot of the ones that I'm like so on are sort of getting unofficial trips to the B section before I move them around.
Yeah.
Some of these are, while a lot of these aren't very generous, some of them definitely are. All right. Actually,
this?
I think I have to move this to the question mark. I can't remember if this is where I ate or not. Okay. Doing a little fine tuning.
Yeah. There's a couple of these I'm not really sure about. It's hard to...
I'm finding that I have an affinity for places that can be inside of a gas station. I think I was gonna say I don't know what that says about me, but I think I know exactly what that says about me.
I can't put that there.
The resignation in that I can feel.
Like, oh no. Yeah, this list is going to be tough to share with people.
Yeah. I'm realizing on some of these choices that I'm nasty, I guess. Man,
yeah.
if you think to whenever people can always go to, well, actually, you should put the link to this on like your Twitter or something.
Oh yeah.
And then people can maybe find it there. And what is your Twitter again, for people who are interested in this tier list and perhaps sharing their own?
My Twitter is MDSN.
And if you want to do your own one of these, my Twitter is at Sour Buddy, I believe. It might be at Jesse James L. Honestly, I don't look at my Twitter and go like, how streamlined is this? It's one of those two, and one of them might not be the best if it exists as well. Anyway, feel free to assess our decisions. I will probably post mine, and feel free to post your own with our hashtag, which I use sometimes, which is hashtag It's This Week's Podcast as one long uncapitalized word.
Yes.
And you will be in an exclusive club if you use that hashtag. So use it as you will.
I keep going to download my thing and I keep messing it up.
Let's see. I feel gross with some of my decisions. But that's just how it's going to have to be.
I'm just going to... Yeah, I too feel that.
Before people look at this list, I want them to know that I realize how people smell after they eat White Castle. I know already. It's not good.
Oh no. Okay. I didn't realize that was a thing. So
yeah.
That's fun to know. Good to know.
Have you had White Castle?
I have not. There are an unfortunate amount of these that are in my question mark category because I haven't been to them.
I will preface this by saying my question mark category, and it is whatever that blue thing is. Zaxby's, because I know I've been to one, but it's been forever, and Raising Cane's chicken fingers. I've definitely heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that.
But I do not know it, so I can't rate it. You know, having Wendy's at the very bottom of the list before it gets to the F section feels exactly correct. I'm going to move Burger King up one because I used to like it when they had one sandwich that was good, but they don't anymore. And chicken fries are what you find when you get to hell.
I have a feeling we're going to have some hotly debated.
I want to hotly debate my own choices if I'm being real, but so I use the personal favorites category for places that I know are actually bad food, but that I like. That's how I used it.
Okay. I probably could. I feel like my personal favorites for me is the same as my S tier.
Yeah, then just don't use it. You're good. I mean, I already saw your decisions come in, so I know you have made those decisions. All right, let's download this image.
Should we go through each tier individually?
Yeah, let me make sure I have this at the ready, and I will send it to you once I do. Did you just take a screenshot of yours? It looks like
I did.
Other options are meant for PC.
Yeah.
Right. Let me edit out my my menus, and I'll send that over to you.
Wow, fancy! I did not do that for you.
I just don't like chaff on my my business.
Well, apologies for the chaff on my business.
I don't,
because it's already been done.
You can't say that because I can't make that the title. It won't work. Okay. So there's my tier list.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think we got some differences. You got a lot of unknowns. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of bummed.
I see we're both nasty Taco Bell people. Obviously. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so for personal favorites, I agree with yours. I've never been to a Dunkin' Donuts.
So I'm noticing with my tier list that I'm very pro breakfast.
Okay.
Dunkin' Donuts is in my favorites, even though people can say what they want about Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I live on the West Coast. It's not good here. So, like, don't come at me with that shit. If I lived in New York, sure, I would like Dunkin' Donuts more. You guys have questionable coffee a lot of the time anyway. I'm going to go somewhere consistent. I drink Starbucks. You can't say that I don't drink garbage too. But yeah, Dunkin' Donuts and Arby's made it into my personal favorites because Arby's sucks. But I'll eat it any day, and I don't understand why. I think we should go tier by tier. So what's with your personal favorite? You got Auntie Anne's in there?
I just really like pretzels. Pretzels are great. I think that's almost a nostalgic pick too, because I just have a lot of fun like mall memories.
Yeah.
Being a dumb kid getting pretzels, and they're great.
I was at an Auntie Anne's not that long ago, and what they had available, this is at South Center Mall, south of Seattle. Okay, I have a picture of this somewhere. It's terrifying, and if we have the option of going to an Auntie Anne's, I hope they have it, because this is the kind of thing that let's say capital C content could could be created with. So they had I think it was a crossover with Cinnabon at the time, at an Auntie Anne stand. And it was a Cinnabon that folded, it was a Cinnabon that folded out into the pretzel shape. And it was horrifying to look at. But they also had a version of the Auntie Anne's pretzel thing where instead of a Cinnabon, they had like a hamburger or some kind of shit, like approximated like sort of a tiny hamburger in the middle of a pretzel that's much bigger than the hamburger, and it was just awful. Anyway, Auntie Anne's is buck wild, but I put Auntie Anne's and Wexel's pretzels in my C category because I will always eat it and it's always acceptable, but I'm rarely like, gotta get these pretzels. So I love pretzels, but Seattle has like a fairly high number of places to get pretzels, so I think that affects my I don't have the pretzel desert to deal with when
I am in a pretzel desert, that is true. Yeah. And just nostalgia. I did ask someone to prom spelling it with pretzels. So
this is one of the most important stories you've ever told me about yourself. Wow, nice.
It was pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that one, I'll be honest.
We're not going to get into prom stuff today because there's shit.
That's a different. That's another.
Yeah, that's
podcast.
A different podcast. So our S tiers are interesting. So you put Sonic. You put Sonic in your S tier.
Yes. They also have good pretzels.
Holy shit. Okay. I hadn't considered that aspect of it.
Great pretzels and just a cherry limeade is always good. And the mozzarella sticks.
They're aids. They're because they have like cherry Rickies, and they also have limeade and lemonade there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sour. It's like really sweet. And that's like a weird thing I picked up from my stepmom. If it's not like a lemon shake up, it's hard for me to like it as much. That being said, I do have maybe a special guest drink that I'm gonna make a little weaker than usual because I need to or I'm gonna die. I'll be right back. My S tier is Steak and Shake only. Make of that what you will.
I see that. I cannot make anything of this because I've never been to a Steak and Shake. But based on the name, I am in support of that decision. But if it's sandwiches, then I guess I'm not. I don't like sandwiches.
What'd you say about Steak and Shake?
Is it steak sandwiches?
Okay, Steak and Shake is a very specific thing. I feel like I'm going to reveal how much of an asshole I am about Steak and Shake right now. Hey, everybody out there should feel delighted that Snyder is not coming into this fucking podcast this week. So, Steak and Shake makes a very specific kind of hamburger that is larger shredded hunks of beef that are cooked into a patty. What that means, though, is that instead of having the outer layer of a normal hamburger that's like very soft and like what you're used to, every single inch of the burger is like the edge of a singed grill burger. And that's a very specific thing. And that's why I rate it so highly, is because, you know, when you go to like certain places that do like more slidery burgers, they often have a edge of the burger that is like slightly saltier and like slightly like crisped on the outside. That's their whole burger. So that's why I like it, because it's like you can only eat one. I think Steak and Shake drops to a D tier if you get multiple burgers. Yeah, I'm about to do the same shit, so don't worry. This is not a unsloppy podcast. Anyway, the Steak and Shake burger is so specific, and that's honestly why it stands out for me, because I like that.
The way you've described it, I'm very eager to try that at some point.
The problem is, and why I will get a lot of blowback when I talked about Steak and Shake with people, this is a thing that's happened to me. Don't worry about my life. The Steak and Shakes everywhere are not equal. And the places where I got Steak and Shake that were really fucking good were exclusively in Illinois. So it's where the American Beef Association is. It's got like all of these aspects of Steak and Shake are so specific that it's S tier for me, but it needs a asterisk next to it that says fast food is not S tier, but Illinois Steak and Shakes are. That's basically what my S tier is. So real quick, I want to reference that I have not a week, but I have 5-day-old Popeyes sweet tea. Would you like to guess what size sweet tea this is?
Is that a small?
It's a medium, but close. I've had this much of it so far. It is extremely sweet. But what I'm about to do here is what the only use for sweet tea is, which is to make it a good.
I just did the exact same thing with my sweet tea.
Wait, you have sweet tea?
I do. It's the Good Earth sweet and spicy tea that Jenny didn't drink this morning. So I'm
that sounds pretty good. It took me a second to remember.
It's very sweet.
I'm sorry, let me grab this Taco Bell spoon and get this properly stirred.
Yep.
Don't worry, everybody. I'll probably still have the sweet tea for next week. Fuck, that's good. I hate just chugging a bunch of sweet tea, but when it's with whiskey, it's so fucking good.
I have never had that combination.
Someone's getting jealous.
I am, because I will say the sweet and spicy and tequila combination is not great.
Oh, no, the jealousy was in reference to my drink, but it's good to know that you also want the sweet tea and whiskey. So now that we've gone over our immediate shame, also, so S tier Sonic is for their limeade and stuff.
Limeade? Well, okay, actually, the thing that makes it definitively S tier is the amount of sides that they have that are like fries, pretzels, piccolos, mozzarella sticks. There are other things that I'm forgetting, but that's so many, and they're all just like the fried food category.
You gotta stop. What's a piccolo?
It's a deep fried pickle.
Okay.
Slice.
That's what I thought, but I've never heard the term piccolo.
You've never heard of piccolos?
No. I've had fried pickles and I love them, but I've never heard of piccolos. So that's good to know.
It's a O of a pickle.
Oh, okay. I get pickle spears. Shut up. Okay. So Taco Bell, I feel like that's obvious why that's there.
Yeah, we don't need to explain that.
We don't need to go over Taco Bell. We've talked about that plenty.
Really? Hashtag sponsored by...
Taco Bell is in my A rank, so it's not like I'm not saying I'm a nasty boy too.
Taco Bell is an S.
Yeah. So in your... Well, let's go back to me for a second, I guess. So for my S rank, I just have Steak and Shake. For my A rank, I have Taco Bell. I don't think Taco Bell's good even, but I love it. Yeah. And it's so undeniable for me that it has to be in the A section. White Castle, those stinky burgers are good, but god damn it, you have to eat them when you're on your way to the shower. That is your only fucking choice.
Why are they so smelly?
So White Castle is a slider that is very greasy and literally very small. It is like, the regular size Hawaiian rolls?
Yeah.
That's like the whole size of a White Castle burger.
Oh.
The burgers are squared off, I believe, even, because I think they just cook them on a big sheet together and put them onto burgers. The only fucking condiment, if you get a White Castle regular burger, is a bunch of like very lightly grilled onion just flopped onto that. So it is onion and burger in like equal amounts on a like Hawaiian roll style roll, and that is it. But they make it well, and you can get food from a White Castle in like 30 seconds. Like you walk up and you're like, burger me 6 of them, and they're like, bam. Like it is the pinnacle of fast food.
I'm into that.
I
like the miniature size of it too. I've never been to a White Castle, so I'm jealous.
Yeah. We got to find you a White Castle. The last one in my A rank is Popeyes, and I probably would have put it in the B rank, but I had it earlier in the week, and they have beignets. They're not good beignets, but they're beignets, and I will eat them. They're chocolate filled, so beignets.
That's fine.
They come in a bag that they just pour powdered sugar into. There's the authenticity of what they're doing that even if it's subpar for beignets, we'll fucking eat that shit.
That's great.
And then I had to look at a bag full of powdered sugar and go like, I got to do something with this. I can't throw sugar in the garbage. So I ended up like making a dessert with the powdered sugar.
Oh, there you go.
The reason why Popeyes gets this high up is mostly that their chicken sandwiches, just regular ass chicken sandwiches, are like the only truly amazing chicken sandwich for fast food stuff I've had. This is what
I've heard.
Some people go for Chick-fil-A, and that's fine. They're wrong. They want pickles. They can eat pickles. Chick-fil-A is great for pickles. They're bad for everything else, including all the Jesus stuff and hating gay people. And every year or so going like, no, we like gay people. You should eat at our restaurant. And then behind the scenes going like, fuck the gays. So like, don't trust them ever. They're garbage people. Popeyes is where you want to go. I hope they're not controversial.
They're not to my knowledge, although I almost put them in the F tier because the Popeyes in Post Falls is constantly creating a traffic problem because there's so many people in line, and I've never been there because it's just irritating.
I'm not gonna lie. When we went to Popeyes after the vaccination, we waited in line for 20 minutes. So, in a car. So we have to kind of speed up because we only got like 10 or so minutes left. But I think I can stand by my A's. Now, what are your A's and why?
Let's see. Your A's. Okay, my A's. Hardee's, which I know as Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
I like the famous star. I can't help it. I like that hamburger.
That's okay. I have a scar from their ad campaigns that are like, you want to talk about like toxic ad campaigns.
I kind of forgot about that until this moment, but yeah.
It's like a woman just squeezing a burger onto her chest and guys being like, I love Hardee's. Yeah.
Come get this burger.
Why is Burger King in there?
Because you can get 10 chicken nuggets for $1, and that's important.
You know what? I get it.
There was some inner turmoil here because you're trying to. I didn't know if we're taking into account like, is this just how much we like it, or if we're taking into account like value? Because I want the most nug for my buck, and that is the most nug.
Don't let anybody tell you what the tier is.
Okay, so that's my tier. Burger King goes on there only for the $10 or 10 nugs for $1 deal, because many a time have I picked up 50 chicken nuggets from Burger King and literally every sauce they have and just laid it out, and it's great.
I'll be honest, I probably would have moved Burger King higher than where I have it, but I'll get to why I didn't. So McDonald's is in there. I think
McDonald's
I get it.
Is just like fine all the time.
Yeah.
I like the fries, I guess. So, yeah.
That's a strong A rank choice. It's hard to really deny that they're everywhere and they're kind of like, you can go to a McDonald's.
Yeah. I always know what to get at a McDonald's. There's the hot and spicy McChicken and a McDouble, or just a hamburger or cheeseburger. I also really like their fish sandwich. So
for a while they were doing double fish sandwiches, and my friend and I have like a photo, basically an article of just us eating these chicken sandwich or fish sandwiches that are doubles and huge, and the wrappers when they had them said "taste the deep." It was like, yeah, that's right.
Ooh,
This is some deep fish. In-N-Out Burger, that's in your A tier.
Yeah.
I don't dislike In-N-Out. I feel like that's another more like McDonald's than people might think.
Yeah, I kind of feel similarly.
Easy.
Yeah, easy to find. There's some novelty there because I don't go often. It's not here, so.
Now, are you an orange chicken head? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, now that I'm looking at that, I'm thinking I could put Panda in my B section, but I do really like the honey walnut shrimp. That's just like.
I had that for the first time with my roommate, and I was surprised. It wasn't terrible.
They're very good. My order is always the rice and then honey walnut shrimp and then or half rice, half chow mein, and then
you get that weird spicy beef. That's so same, not bad.
The Beijing beef. Yeah,
it's
I like
not
that.
Spicy, but it tastes all right.
It's good. All of their meat just tastes like it's candied, so I'm fine with that. I like the Beijing beef, but usually what I'll do is substitute one of my entrees for 2 crab rangoons because that's the right move.
Honestly, I think I did that the one time I was there in the last while. I went to a Uniqlo, and while I was there, we went to fucking God. Yeah. Anyway, we don't have to get into that.
That sounds like a mall day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my A tier. Your B tier. You've got a pretty solid B tier. There's a lot in here.
Yeah. McDonald's made it into my B tier. Krispy Kreme is a family thing. I don't want them to go currently, but Krispy Kreme is a thing that I would do with my biological mom and her family. And I have fond memories of getting the like experimental donuts they make that are always like, this is just the weird greasy pillow that the other donuts are, but it's like got a frosting on it.
Yeah.
In-N-Out Burger, Wibbly Burger. I'm just, now that we're low on time, I'm just going to go over the ones that I think are interesting.
Okay.
KFC, KFC. Checkers. Checkers is essentially just a gas station that has more food than usual. I will never say no to a Checkers. It is fun. Like Route 66 food is how I would consider that. Nice. Long John Silver's made it into my B tier because I eat it at ferry terminals, and they have hush puppies that are like just throwing stuffing down your throat.
Yeah.
El Pollo Loco. I am so angry because I have family from Mexico, and I took 3 years of Spanish and have family from Mexico, and I'm so like in my own head about it, I cannot say pollo properly.
Pollo Loco.
Anyway, KFC and that are on there because I like chicken.
All right. Solid.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on KFC biscuits?
They're fine. They're not bad. They're better than Popeye's biscuits, but the rest of their food isn't good.
I like their biscuits quite a bit.
KFC's biscuits are biscuits that I would buy on their own. I like them that much. Yeah. I mostly, when I say biscuits aren't good, I mean Popeye's biscuits are bad. Everything else is good.
That's fine. I would drink KFC gravy though.
Yeah, KFC's fucked up. They shouldn't have like that. So your B tier, I see some stuff in there.
Yeah, we got Wendy's. Wendy's is fine.
Yeah.
It's expensive though. I feel like
it's expensive. I don't like Wendy's, but that's just a me thing.
I like their fries. And they have like spicy chicken nuggets, which McDonald's doesn't usually have, so I like those. Five Guys also fine, although I feel like actually Five Guys should go down a tier because I don't like their fries as much, and I seem to recall them not having fry sauce, which is like sacrilegious. So
especially for a greasy fucking place like that.
Yeah, Five Guys goes down to C because they don't carry the right condiments. Jack in the Box, actually, Jack in the Box has to go into A because I really enjoyed that stupid hamburger with butter on it, like the buttery Jack.
Yeah.
That one's really good.
That's fair.
Arby's.
They got the sauce hookup.
They got the sauce. I like the meat. It tastes like it's been soaked in meat broth for a billion years.
It's good. Like the au jus has been made into meat.
Yeah. Yeah. Krispy Kreme. I like Krispy Kreme. I just want a plain Krispy Kreme forever.
Honestly, yeah, those are kind of the best.
Yeah.
My C category, most of this is quick. I got Auntie Anne's and Wexel's. I love a pretzel, but like I said, Boston Market. Boston Market's a weird fucking place, and it will always be a place that I associate with things that I like. I feel weird putting Panera and Boston Market in the same category, but when I think about their food quality, there's a reason. Dairy Queen and A&W are both places that are inside of some gas stations, and that's mostly why I like them.
Yeah.
The Panda Express, honestly, the trip I took not that long ago, like a year and a half ago, is the only reason why it's this high, or I would have rated it in the F category with the other scum that I put down there. But I was introduced to better stuff that they have, so I believe it now. Burger King, the spicy chicken sandwich was really good. My friend worked at Burger King, and he and his girlfriend, who also worked at Burger King, would fuck in the freezer. And I'm not very happy about the way that stuff ended up, and that there was a sense of like, hey, this food is still the same as it always was, but I know you just fucked, and I'm sort of not cool with a lot of this stuff. And the fact that just fucking in the building and in the bushes outside didn't do anything to the experience kind of makes me realize what I think about the whole thing. And I think that their charbroil thing is overdone, so I don't really like that they push that so much. There's a good chance that this is going to run over and have a little snippet along with it. I've accepted that. Our podcast is trashy.
Should we go straight to F?
No, I think we should just finish it because at this point, if we're going to run over and it splits our video into multiples, I would rather people have more of the shitty category to look at. So
Good. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Cinnabon also got into my C listings because Cinnabon always makes me feel like garbage.